Good afternoon, boys and girls. I wanted to tell you about a very special week in our Catholic faith called Holy Week. The first day of Holy Week was on Palm Sunday, which just passed, and hopefully you were able to take some time and pray with your family or read from the Bible, or there's been some masses that have been aired on TV, which I will put a link to that on our D2L after. So the first day is Palm Sunday, and Jesus rode a donkey into Jerusalem. People waved palm branches to honor him. They showed their love, but it is sad to say, days later, they behaved in a very different way. So our activity was these eggs here called resurrection eggs, and an egg is a symbol in our faith of the circle of life. So first egg is number 1 for Palm Sunday, and inside is 2 little palm leaves that you could make into a little cross here. All right, and the next day that we celebrate in Holy Week is Holy Thursday. Jesus told his friends to find a room just right, to share a special meal on Holy Thursday night. As they gathered round the table, Jesus blessed the bread and wine. In doing so, he gave himself a gift for all mankind. And now I have a neat little story here. The story of the Last Supper. One day, some disciples asked Jesus where they could prepare the Passover meal. Jesus said, "Go into the city, follow a man carrying a jar of water. The house he enters will have an upstairs room. We will celebrate the Passover there." The disciples went to the city. Everything happened just as Jesus said. When the evening came, Jesus and the disciples went to the house. When they were seated, Jesus told the disciples that one of them would betray him. The disciples wondered who it would be. Later, Jesus gave thanks, broke some bread, and gave it to his disciples. He said, "Eat. This is my body." Then Jesus took the cup and gave thanks. He gave the cup to his disciples, saying, "Drink from it. This is my blood." When the supper was ended, Jesus and the disciples sang a hymn. Then they went out to the Mount of Olives. So our symbols for Holy Thursday are number 2, which is Jesus washes his disciples' feet. And I have a little piece of soap in here. Maybe you could wash somebody in your family's feet tonight. That would be very kind. And number 3, Jesus has the Last Supper with his friends. And there's a little piece of bread. Maybe you can share some bread with your family today. And number 4, Jesus prays in the garden. And there is a leaf in here. And number 5, Judas hurt Jesus' feelings. And I have a little broken heart in here. You put the 2 pieces together. You have a heart. So the next day after Holy Thursday is Good Friday. When Jesus died, Good Friday, upon the cross of wood, he showed how much he loved us. He gave up all he could. He gave his life for us, boys and girls, and it's very important to know that. So egg number 6 is Jesus must wear a crown of thorns. And there's a little twig in there that you can make a crown with. And number 7, soldiers play a game, an unfriendly game for Jesus' clothes. And there's a little dice that represents playing a game. And number 8 is at noon, the sky turns black. We all know what black looks like. There's a black piece of fabric in there. Jesus dies on the cross. And inside, I have a little cross. And you could make a little cross at home, either draw one or color one, or this one here is made out of pipe cleaner. And number 10 is Jesus is wrapped in white cloth. There's some white cloth in here that they wrapped him up in before he was placed in the tomb. All right, and the next day we're going to talk about is Easter Sunday, and I have another little story here. On the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and some other women took spices and went to the tomb where Jesus had been laid. When they got to the tomb, they found the rock had been blocking the entrance rolled away. The women entered the tomb, but they did not find the body of Jesus there. While they were wondering what had happened, 2 men in shining clothes appeared beside them. The women were frightened, but the men said, "Jesus is not here. He has risen. Remember when he told you this would happen?" Then the women remembered what Jesus had said and left the tomb and went to tell his disciples all that had happened. Most of the disciples did not believe the women, but Peter got up and ran to the tomb. There he saw strips of linen laying by themselves. He too went away from the tomb, wondering about all that had happened. So the eggs we have for Easter morning, or Easter Sunday, is number 11, which is the stone that was in front of Jesus' tomb that had been rolled away. And then number 12, our last egg, that shows us that there is nothing inside, because there was nobody in the tomb when the women went inside the tomb. So it represents that Jesus has risen. Okay, boys and girls, that was our Easter Holy Week activity. I hope you enjoyed doing that, and I'm hoping you have a very blessed long weekend, 4 days of your family, and that you are able to pray together and enjoy each other and know that we're thinking of you and my family and praying for you all to return to school safely very soon, and miss you and love you. Bye.